Hey, it's Mark Roberts on Let's Get Into Entertainment.
The business of entertainment.
That's what's up, boys.
Thanks, guys. Wow, what happened to you? What's going on with
I
you?
had some Casa Mexico tequila. That's what happened to me. I actually did. So Lopez at work right now handed me a tea.
You're lying.
I swear to God. You want to go look in my car that you were banging on the
No,
window?
because I got to do a show right now.
All right, well, we have a full parking lot right here. Why'd you have to park this close to me?
You want to know why? Because Dave, you wrote to Dave on a text, and you're like, hey, can you be there at 3:30?
No, I said, could we just start the show at 3:30?
Right, and he says, I can't
4.
be there till 4, and we fly up at 3:30, and boom, Dave's car's there, and you and I are barely getting here, so I felt bad. I was like, let's get upstairs and make sure that we're on time for this guy who obviously rushed to get here.
Flew in.
Flying in. Hey,
you didn't see the cup that I was getting to the point. There was tea in there with some tequila in it. Lopez gave it to me, and he said, Tootie, here's some tea.
And how was it?
And I said, why'd you give me tea? Because his ass don't get it. Yeah. And it was good. And then after I drank most of it, he said, you taste like Casa Mexico? I said, you motherfucker.
Nice.
It was good. So that's why I'm a little energetic.
Delicious.
A little energetic.
Little loose.
Little loose.
Welcome to the show. I'm excited to see you guys.
Welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Today, we're going to talk with our friend Clay Epstein.
Yep.
Clay Epstein owns a company called
Film
Mode. You know when he started?
Film Mode?
Yeah, when he started this company, I was like, you got to change the name, bro.
Yeah.
Because Film Mode, because 2 M's right next to each other. So Film Mode.
Film Mode.
It's just hard to say.
No, it's easy. Film Mode.
Yeah, but so is it 2 M's? You got to do the 2 M's because it's Film Mode.
Film Mode.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Anyway, he's going to be here today.
That's some Mexican shit because you say everything really quick. Film Mode.
Yeah, Film Mode.
Yeah, instead of Film Mode.
We're going to have him on the show today. We're going to talk about what's happening with distribution. I think the cool thing about talking with Clay is that no matter what level you're at filmmaking, you can get him your movie and he could potentially distribute it for you.
He wants to check out Made in Mexico. In fact,
you should.
Roberts, you gave me some advice. The power of IMDb. I put up Made in Mexico. I got I don't have my contacts. I didn't put it up. Ron Lee did. I got a few emails. One from like a composer saying, "Hey, I saw your post or your your film. If you're interested, I'll send you my work." And then one was from a foreign distributor in Italy, wanted to check it out, maybe distribute it in Italy.
Well, we're going to talk about distribution.
You told me send it to Clay.
Yeah, and you did.
And Clay said, I want to see it.
Of course he does. We all sit back sometimes and look at Hollywood and say, we're not in, they don't want us, they don't care about us. The fact is that all of Hollywood is looking for the new thing. It's their job, right? Every agent, every producer, every executive, they're all looking for the new thing to bring to their companies so that they can break out the new Rodriguez or the new whoever it's going to, the Michael Bay, whoever it is. They are looking for the best of the best. So,
but with guarantees, that's the only beef. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like we want to discover somebody, but what have you done? Well, I don't know. It's because everybody's afraid to like fuck up, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into this when we get back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Get Into Entertainment. I've got Rod Tootie Rinks here.
What's up?
I've got Dave
Yo.
on the ones and twos. Hey, it's exciting to be in 2021. Although I heard 2021 just asked 2020 to hold its beer.
Or I heard, what was the other one, the meme that was going around, Dave?
That was
the
a great
7-day free trial.
Yeah.
You could.
I'd like to cancel my subscription.
To 2021?
Yeah, the 7-day free trial. But you know what? You didn't read the fine print, so guess what? You're locked in for a year.
Oh, man. Dude, it started a little rough, but...
It's fine. It's fine.
We're here doing the podcast.
That's what's up.
I was talking to my kids the other day, and we were praying for people and for, friends that we have friends with restaurants. And a lot of businesses are suffering.
Yep.
And it's painful to see because there's nothing they can do about it, right? Hey, it's COVID. Oh, okay. Well, build an area outside of your restaurant and people can eat out there. Oh, okay. And they go spend $50,000 doing that. And they're like,
they don't have.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
You're actually shut down for a month and a half. It's crazy.
So let me ask you, Roberts, as a producer from big things on Netflix like Ashley Garcia, is Rona going to end? We don't know. But if it doesn't, is that going to change up then writers' rooms? Because you were saying Cobra Kai broke a lot of quote unquote rules.
Yeah.
They were doing shit that like you were like that writer's room must have been fun. When
Well, it must have been a lot of fun. You were going like, okay, now the good guy's going to jump on the bad guy's side, like in the middle of the
good
fight.
guy's a bad guy. The
Right.
bad guy's a good
exactly.
guy.
And now he turns good guy, and we're going to bring back an old thing. I mean, all of the things. There's so many emotions
Would you
that go into
encourage
that
that
show.
type of writing? then?
Yeah,
If
I think the
if you were
future.
showrunning?
Yeah, I think the future of TV, and it's not even TV anymore. The future of shows
Content.
of
Yeah.
content is ever changing, and I think I was writing to an executive today over at Paramount, and I said I was campaigning for one of the scripts I had sent, and I said, more than ever, after watching all of the product over the holidays, I feel like the time for making different product that is relatable is important. So, like to have cultural issues in a show, to have crooks in a show, to have like all of these different things, to have family dysfunction in a show all at the same time is probably an okay thing to do as long as it's relatable. And then you can tell any story. So then you have a little bit more room to like go crazy with the rest of your story.
Yeah, makes
Right.
sense. I mean, you do that on social media.
Exactly.
Start with something relatable and then branch out.
So I think it's happening now. I mean, I just watched The Flight Attendant, which I thought was really great. But again, it was sort of like this crazy show and there's people being murdered and then it's kind of funny, but they're joking about it. It's kind of campy. So
I like that.
But they're breaking a lot of rules. You're having fun with their shows. There's murder, there's comedy, and
So it's like Goodfellas.
yeah, it's like Goodfellas.
Because it's entertaining at the end of the day. Like when they kill people, and sometimes when they kill bats, it's like crazy, but it's kind of funny. They're stomping him, and
And by the way,
you get blood on your floor, and
by the way, you're exactly right. Like the scene where Joe Pesci kills someone, and everyone's like, "Oh man, well, who's gonna dig the hole? I'm not digging the hole."
Yeah.
Right? That was
nice shot. How could you miss? Remember, he
right,
shoots him.
that kind of comedy, which was sort of exclusive to a certain type of movie, is now sort of
That's great. I love that.
going
I like
all
that.
over the place. So
Relatable.
Because there's comedy in killing. Like Davey Dave and I know we buried a few bodies. Kidding.
no, it's an exciting time. I actually sat at home watching all these shows and programs and movies over the holiday, and I just thought, you've got to rethink how you're writing shows, how you're pitching shows, because you really got to open up your eyes and take the blinders off, and you're not just doing it. I mean, look, if you're doing a show for a lifetime, it's it's by the book. But if you're doing shows for Netflix and for for these streamers that just really want to impress and do something different and have someone say, "Oh, you got to see the thing on Netflix. It's amazing. It's something like you've never seen before." Then you got to innovate. But today I want to shift gears and say that we're going to be talking to a distributor,
Yeah.
Clay Epstein. He's been in the distribution business for years and years. I'm talking about
You've
decades.
worked with them for a long time.
I worked with him for a long time because when I did Plump Fiction in 96, 97, 96,
That was your first film.
that was
right?
my first film. He was my assistant on the movie, and now he's become like this big distributor. So we've been friends, and we've known each other for a long time. We are doing something with him, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But first, let's get Clay Epstein on to talk about the state of distribution. Clay, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, Mark, I can hear you.
Hey, buddy. It's Mark Roberts from Let's Get Into Entertainment. I got Rod Tootie Rinks here. You know Rod.
Clay, my man, how are you?
What's up, Rod? I'm good. Happy New Year,
Thank you, buddy.
I got Davey Dave on the ones and twos over here, too.
What's up, buddy?
Davey Dave. I don't know ones and twos are, but it's nice to see you.
I don't either. I stole that from Mario. I have no
Happy New
idea what
Year.
it means.
I know. Do we know what ones and twos are?
I have
guess
no
it's
idea.
digital.
I feel like it's the finger 1 and 2.
Turntables.
Is it
turntables,
turntables,
see.
ones and twos, spinning records?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So I wanted to get right into it. First of all, we were joking about your name, Film Mode. I told Titty when you first were opening your company that I said, you got to change that. The 2 M's are really tough to pronounce.
Whatever I need to do to help you, Mark.
Exactly. Whatever's easiest
As
for
long
you.
as long as you're not criticizing my actual name.
I'm curious, how many countries is there to sell a product or a movie in the world? Is there like 50, 100? How many is there?
It depends on the film, obviously. Some films get sold everywhere in the world.
So you got about 50. Is there still a thing called Benelux?
Yeah, Benelux is not going anywhere.
What is that?
Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg.
Oh.
You can't get rid of them. That's right. They're here to stay.
But you sell them together.
Yeah, most of the time in our world, in the startup industry, we're on we will sell the rights to Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg to one distributor, and they will then handle the distribution within those three countries. Same with Scandinavia. Scandinavia is made up of, 4 or 5 countries, and it's not uncommon to sell it to one company in the region, and then they do the distribution within that region.
It's a remarkable business if you think about it.
Yeah.
The distribution business, because you gotta be able to communicate. I'm guessing most of the world, especially in the business of distribution, speaks English, right?
Today, when I first, yes. I mean, the short answer to that is yes. When I first started in the business, of course, the executives that were out buying films from American companies spoke English, but it was not unusual that their bosses or colleagues did not. And so when I first started going on business trips and going to trade shows and film markets and film festivals around the world, it would not be unusual to have a meeting with an interpreter. You'd have a meeting with the acquisition executive, and then they would be translating your discussions to the boss. And of course, the first thing that comes in your mind is, are they translating what I'm saying accurately?
Right.
Right? Because you never really know. Are they saying to their boss what I'm saying to them? And sometimes I would try and act like I knew what they were saying. And I would try and pretend to translate for them and try and make them think I understood, Czech.
That's funny.
or Bulgarian or Korean, and I'd try and pick up a word or two, or I'd ask a friend for a couple of buzzwords that I can remember their meaning.
Yeah.
And then I would say them and then I would use those 2 buzzwords in a meeting like the next day, just to make the boss think like I knew enough to understand what they were talking about.
That's
So, of
funny.
course, I had no idea what they were saying. He could have been telling the acquisitions guy, don't offer $2 for this guy's crappy movie, but I always pretended like I knew what they were saying. But that's less today. I mean, more today. It's been a long time since I've had a meeting with the translator.
Now you have the app. You just go to the translator app and shit just comes out like, hey, okay, there, perfect. All right.
Right. And more, don't forget, the executives, everyone ages out. So the bosses from 10, 15 years ago probably aged out into retirement under some circumstances. And then, so the bosses today grew up studying English and traveling and watching films in English. So a little bit different business world today. But when I first started, it was certainly a fairly common experience.
For people listening, if someone wanted to come to Film Mode and be successful in selling a movie to you, and in turn you selling it all over the world, what would be the number one genre that people should consider?
Horror.
It's not a bad question. I think, obviously, when we say a commercial movie, we're usually saying, referring to genres that are more in the thriller, action, horror space. It's films that are kind of further away from drama or even comedy. Anything that needs a cultural relevance, cultural understanding. If someone's being chased by a monster or chased by a bad guy, you don't have to explain that culturally. It's pretty universally understood. That's why those films work pretty well worldwide.
Yeah.
But more than, what's important more than that is the actor. I mean, the value of cast is just the be all and end all, number one most important element, and increasingly becoming more important in our independent space,
right,
because there's no other way to get awareness for your film on a digital platform if you don't have a recognizable face.
Right.
Yeah.
So second question is, if I'm doing a comedy and it's an American comedy and it's got cultural comedy in it. So let's say it's a Mexican-American comedy or it's a German comedy, but it's in America, and I'm making jokes and trying to make people laugh. That comedy also doesn't travel, right?
Not usually. The comedy has to be broad. And so if the comedy is based in niche cultural understanding, right? So as an example, references to a American TV show that never really traveled outside of America, or a local star that anyone in America might know, but no one outside of America would know. Those don't travel very wide. Those are hard. But romantic comedies with big cast, they can travel, or a film like The Hangover, right? Because that is more physical. It doesn't matter where you come from. The Hangover's funny, right?
That's
it's funny.
Yeah,
and I think, and that's why those comedies like Bad Moms, and there were Bad Moms and Bad Santa and Bad Grandmas and Bad Dads and bad, like, just people being naughty, and it playing out funny physically and broadly can work. That movie Neighbors, I think, worked pretty well because it's broad, right?
That's
and
amazing.
You have big cast. If you notice, you notice comedies that work, their cast is always big. Big. It's very rare they have indie comedy that works. You know, the film Palm Springs is interesting as an example, you know, because it popped out of Sundance and sold to Amazon, I think,
I'm going to watch it.
$17 million or something. Mm-hmm. And it is funny and unique, but it has the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you know, and he was in Saturday Night Live, and Andy Samberg. I mean, he's a name. Everyone knows who he is. And the film got in Sundance, and the film is really well executed. But the streamer decided on its value. It's a different business model.
17 million they bought it for?
I think so.
Wow.
If you sell a film to Netflix and they buy the world, it doesn't really matter if you did a comedy or a action film or anything like that, right? They just put it on their platforms and it lives there, and it's sort of
If Netflix wants your film, if Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, if any of the streamers want your film, it's a different business model. It's more like a TV network acquires your film or commissions you to make it. So the business model is not how many tickets you're selling or how many transactional VOD rentals you're selling.
Yeah.
It's a buyout for the rights to put it on their platform. So it depends on how they're valuing it internally.
That makes sense. So basically, if you're listening, the idea would be to have an action film, horror film, or a thriller, have it be very well cast, and have it be good, and that's the film that's the top seller. If you're doing a comedy, it should be broad, sort of physical, or something like The Hangover that everyone can relate to all over the world. Okay, so that makes sense. Let me ask you this, dude.
Yeah.
How was your 2020 in terms of films and selling and markets? Did you have to make massive adjustments? Did they figure it out, or is that being figured out in 2021?
All of the above. We managed to get one film into production towards the end of the year called Slayers, which looks fantastic. You know, it's looking fantastic. Abigail Breslin, Thomas Jane, Malin Ackerman, and it's like Zombieland but with vampires.
Oh, great.
So again, that falls in a commercial space. There's comedy in it. There's some horror in it. There's some action in it, and we have very recognizable cast and great actors.
That's
and
great.
that worked. I sold it to a studio before the film started shooting. You know, once we had the cast and we had worked on the script a lot, we got a studio interested in acquiring the rights because it checked all the boxes for what the distribution space needs. You know, all the distributors want films that look and feel and smell studio-like, right? That's with the cast and being commercial and entertaining and following the rules. And if you can accomplish all of that and make it within a budget that the market can support, you're okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's when producers or filmmakers approach a film without approaching it from a professional perspective. They're only approaching it from, well, I want to make this.
Right.
Well, they haven't asked themselves whether there's an audience or what the market will support financially, or where will it be distributed, when will you get it finished.
Yeah.
You know, how will you check all those boxes of what a consumer might want.
Yeah. Well,
so it's, you know, not unusual. I get people presenting films like, oh, we shot half of it, but we ran out of money. You know, it's too bad, but then it wasn't approached professionally in a professional manner. You know, Mark, when you put a film together, you start rolling, before you have all the money. No, you have responsibility to everyone in the film.
That's a good point.
I don't know, maybe you do.
No. Hey,
maybe you do.
we got a lot to talk to you about, but I know that you have to go. But what I wanted to say is, you and I, sometimes it's a long process selling especially if you believe in your product, selling a film or getting a film made or getting a distributor to join you. Because you and I are doing Ollie together, which is a skateboarding bulldog movie. And I've been pitching you that for probably, I'm going to say about 3 years. I've been pitching you this movie.
Yeah.
And we sort of wanted to do it
longer.
Yeah, maybe longer. Yeah. And we sort of always, we weren't able to get it going, but now all of a sudden we're moving on it. We're going to make it. And it took some time. So I just want people to know it takes time. Sometimes if you believe deeply in something, you got to keep pitching it to people until they see it.
Yeah. Market trends change, the technology probably, we're going to be able to make that film look a certain way in terms of level of production quality that you probably could have been gotten 3 years ago for the same amount of money.
There you go.
So that's another reason that, that's enabling the film to get made now, right? Because even 3-4 years ago, when we looked into certain technology in terms of the dog mouth moving and all, it would have been cost prohibitive.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But every year technology gets cheaper and more accessible. So I think that's probably one of the reasons. And also probably, yes, there's more demand for well-made independent content today.
Yeah.
But it's also more selective, but there is a demand for it.
That's good to know.
So, if that brings any positivity,
it does.
To your filmmaking listening audience.
Yeah, man. Well, there's a bunch of people out there that want to make movies. They want to sell them. They want to have places to take them. Just so you know, Rod here on the show, myself, we added all of the talking dogs to Ollie. We wrote it together over a 3-week period. Is that funny? Did you know that? I don't think I told you that.
No. Now you're revealing all your secrets on the air.
And those were the best parts of the
best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Those dogs are amazing.
All right, Clay, I'm going to let you go, buddy. But I we do have a lot of distribution stuff that we left on the cutting room floor, but I'd love to have you back. And, when we have more time and talk a little bit more.
Yeah, my
shop.
pleasure.
All right, buddy.
My pleasure. Good luck to you guys. I love the podcast.
Thanks,
Good luck
man.
with it.
Thanks, man.
And Clay, last thing, Made in Mexico, you'll be getting it at the end of this month. Boom!
Nice.
Can't wait.
Can't
wait.
You're going to love it, I'm telling you. It marks off the boxes.
Mark's going to tell you to change it. Mark's going to tell you to change the title.
No, he liked the title.
I like the title.
Oh, yeah. Film mode.
All right, that's good.
All right, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Clay Epstein. He has a lot to talk about. Yeah. We should get him for an hour next time.
Yeah.
I don't think it was enough time to talk about.
He wanted to do the squad cast. He's a good-looking guy. I could see why he wanted to do it.
But let's talk about.
Take it easy.
I know he's easy there. But let's talk about what he was saying. I think it's important. No matter this is for all levels of filmmakers, right? Whether you're making a bunch of movies. I mean, look, if you're at a studio and you're making hundreds of millions of dollars movies, then this isn't for you.
Yeah.
But if you're, making movies in the millions, you're starting off, you've made something terrific. Film Mode's a place you can go. Clay Epstein's a guy who will take a look at your film, tell you if there's value there around the world. You're talking about value around the world, everywhere on the globe. He can sell your movie, or he can sell it here domestically to Netflix or to whoever the buyers are here.
He's got the connections.
Yeah, but to be specific, he said action, thrillers, horror, and he also said comedies, but they have to be broad.
Yeah.
They have to be physical.
Yeah. Because everybody laughs at somebody falling. Doesn't matter what language it is.
Yeah.
Or you see somebody get their head buzzed off or something. Shaved off.
That's funny.
It's interesting because we started the show talking about
breaking rules
and about how the domestic industry of film and television is evolving and changing. And I don't think that applies to Clay. I think Clay is in a box that you have to do it with a certain cast. You have to have a certain type of script, and it has to be in a certain genre. And I don't think you can break the rules. I remember talking to him about a couple of movies, and he was like, "Oh, it has to be," or can you make it with a male lead and instead of a female lead, or can you make it that the parents are not dead or they're alive? Whatever it was something specific because some countries still want to see a full family unit, or not, or whatever. So there are rules.
Let me ask you something, Roberts. As a producer who's been in the business for decades. You made tons of product movies. So say Clay tells you, make this, do that, do these changes, and you go and do those. and then he takes your movie and he goes, sorry, man, couldn't sell it.
Possible.
My bad.
It's possible.
It's possible. And you're like,
Yeah.
wait, I did all these changes.
No, that's not how it works. You don't say, wait, I did all these changes. You hope for the best.
Yeah.
You sign your deal.
Yeah.
You try to do the best movie you can make. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah. So is it, well, I guess it's his professional opinion because he's in that world and he knows what he could sell and what he can't sell. So
I mean,
you got to listen to
if you're a filmmaker and you made a movie and someone's going to offer you, and you made it for $100,000 and someone offers you $1 million, you take it.
Of course.
But if you're going to roll the dice
Yeah.
and say, hey, help me sell this, and a company's going to help you sell it, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And here's my opinion of what can make it a sellable movie.
You're
and you do it and it doesn't happen, then it's just bad luck.
He did that for me with the poster for Made in Mexico because I sent him a couple ideas, and he said the one that I really wanted to do was modeled after an old school Mexican film from the 40s. It was dope.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, that's not going to work. He actually gave me the idea for the current one that I used.
Yeah.
And so
I sent him the artwork that I designed with a great designer of posters, Lauren Garza, who had done all my posters, who's been nominated for awards for poster making and designing. And he redid it. He redid the entire thing. I actually did not like his poster as much as I liked mine, but that's not my decision.
right.
That's his decision.
Right,
I didn't even, he's going to hear it on this podcast for the first time that I didn't like it, but I didn't like the artwork. I liked mine a lot better. But it doesn't matter what I like because he's the one selling it.
Well, it's kind of like Mobtown. The script was called Appalachian because it took place in Appalachian, New York. That's where that meeting took place, and we liked that. I liked that title. And then when Danny sold it to Saban Films, they made it Mobtown. That's what they owned it now.
It might sell better, yeah. What's fascinating about our conversation today is that we're talking about horror films, action films, thrillers, comedies, and what do all of those films have in common? They all have a soundtrack.
Oh, they all have a soundtrack. That's right.
But I wanted to talk about extreme music for a sec because extreme music is able to accommodate every single genre we were talking about today.
Every single one of them.
Right?
And then some.
And then exactly. And then some. Like you go like a Mexican movie, here we are. A mariachi movie, here you are. Yeah, he could do a Christmas movie, here you are. On the next show, I want to feature some of the music that I pulled off of extreme music for Feliz Navidad, because, we talk about extreme music on the show and we say how amazing they are, but I think people don't understand like what different types of music you can get, like different arranged music, because when I say Christmas music, I'm talking about really hip, cool a cappella versions of old songs that you wouldn't even imagine. So I'm going to play some on the next show for everybody. And I want you guys to hear that the availability of music and style is massive. So not only can you find your genre, but you can find different types of styles. So that if you're a filmmaker that's edgier, if you want to go traditional, there's traditional. If you want to have like a choir, they have choirs.
Yeah.
So extreme music for all your music needs across genres, slapstick, everything. You got to go check them out.
I was Dave, I cut a lot of stuff for my Tutified account, my IG with the hair things. And it was interesting because I cut it on iMovie.
Yeah.
And iMovie only offered like 10 songs before. Now they have like a little bit of a library. It's not big. But could I get extreme music? Like, would I be able to use extreme music on that?
Yes.
So what would I guess I just
got to import the file. Yeah.
Just have to import the
file. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Speaking of apps, though, everybody needs to go who's listening to the show right now. Click on the
podcast app.
The podcast, the purple icon. Yeah. Well, just go to the thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Just rate it.
Rate it.
Give us some stars. Give us a review. Say what you think of the show. See if there's anything in particular that helped you or opened your eyes to something. Let us know about it.
Or if there's something you want us to talk about, shout out. Dave will read them on air.
Actually, that's a good point. If you have a question about what you're doing and how you want to do life rights, you like someone's story, you like a magazine article, mention it. We'll tell you how to handle it on the next show.
Great idea, Roberts.
No, I think you
that's
came
why
up
you're
with
a
that.
producer.
That was you.
Well,
Well,
did you just jack my idea?
I just jacked your idea.
Shocker, you just jacked me.
Well, that was cool. Thank you guys again for listening. Thank you guys for being here. And let's get into entertainment next week.
Let's do it.
Because it's what, Dave?
The business of entertainment.
That's right. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.
2021, Dave.
Holler.
The wait is over. New episodes of The Walking Dead Season 10 are premiering early February 21st on AMC+. Don't miss the extended 10th season featuring 6 new episodes, each focused on fan-favorite characters. Prepare for all new high-stakes showdowns and emotional reckonings by catching up on the latest season before new episodes drop. With season binges, exclusive content, and early access to new episodes, the best Walking Dead experience is only on AMC+. Get lost in the Walking Dead universe today. Available ad-free and on demand. Sign up at amcplus.com. AMC+. Only the good stuff.
What's new in podcasting? Here's what we love, courtesy of Acast Recommends.
I love a Lifetime movie. Hey y'all, I'm Naomi Ekperigin.
And I'm her good friend, Megan Gately.
It's true. And we are the hosts of the brand new podcast, I Love a Lifetime Movie, a weekly pod that is as obsessed with Lifetime movies as you are. Yes, you are. Don't pretend you're not, because you are.
Every week, we are going to pick a different Lifetime movie and dissect all the drama, shocking twists, oh boy, are there some, tears, and the trials and tribulations of women that are just on the verge.
Honey, these women are murdering, honey. They're having affairs, honey. And there is a movie called Psycho Granny. Okay, I'm done. Just subscribe. Just subscribe.
Acast recommends.